Hey boys, we're gonna start some repairing on this thing. And the first thing we're gonna be starting with is where the board is broken here. Now, the owner did tell me that the board was already broke. They tried repairing it, so obviously it's not all that great. So I'm going to go back and repair the board here again. And I know something else with this board. All the ground lugs, ground connections to the chassis are broken. So to me, it's like something fell on this thing. I got scorch marks right here. Like, gosh, that's, I don't know. I don't know if this thing took a lightning strike or what. But, anyway. Let's see what we can do here. Well, first, I'm just going to remove some old wire. That's here. Remove that. Remove it from here. And it's just a, it was actually broken there or not. But we don't have a continuous board. Just because they had a jumper here and a jumper there, but the board was also broken right there. The trace is broken here. So I'm gonna bet you if I put my probe across from here to there, or from right here rather to there, I bet you I won't have continuity. I might, but let's see. Okay, there is, but okay, it's there. It's not the greatest because there is a okay, there's a stress break right here. See? It goes across underneath the screw and back over to here. There is a stress break here. So I'm going to run a piece of wire from back here all the way along here. And then we got to fix the ground because alright. First gotta remove some of the enamel. Whatever you want to call that green shit. Call it what you want. But regardless, what it is or what it ain't, I gotta remove some. So the fracture break is right there. Okay, it's right under here is where it is. That's where the break is too. Okay, so Chances are this is probably an 8-volt rail. I'm thinking. So I have to be very careful when I do my wire connection here. There's probably other ways to do it. Just remove this, but I'm removing it like this. The old flux. I got to say something though, boys. My eyesight is getting worse. The older I'm getting, the worse it's getting. I've noticed that lately. Last few years. My eyesight is actually getting worse. So we have a part here. I don't know exactly what it is, but oops. Alright. This way. Everything going flying. You see that go flying? Alright, so now I'm going to solder this up. Tin up the trace. You can feel the break right there. Alright. Okay. Now I'm going to get my piece of wire. And I'm going to bridge it across there. And I'm going to bridge it across there. Tin up my wire. First thing we gotta do, boys, we gotta fix the physical damage to the board. Before we can go any further, this stuff here has to be repaired. Come on. Just like that. Snip it off. Now, anytime you make a solder joint and you cut it, you resolder, because they can actually leave breaks, stress breaks in the solder. So when you cut your wire, make sure you reflow the solder again, like so. Alright, so now we're going to do this section over here. Same thing again. Bell wire is or telephone wire is actually good for this. This solid copper wire is perfect for this. But I've since ran out of it. So I'm going to try and get myself some more of it. And another thing you can use is Cat 6 wire. Cat 5, Cat 6. because it's also solid. Alright. So I'm going to do my jumper here. Again, you want to get it well back from the where the stress brake is. Heat up your solder as you go along. Bring it up like that. Snip off the wire. And then reflow it. Just like that. So now I got my ground here. That's chassis ground. So I got a fracture here. And I got a fracture here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to clean off the trace here. Get a piece of wire from here. Go across these connections and solder it into these guys here. Make this all one piece. So, pardon my hands here, but piece of wire or something here, I don't know what it was. Pardon my hands here for a minute, boys. I gotta make my hand too much in the way there, I don't think. Bring it well back. Just like that. Trace here a little bit. And again, I want to take in as much of this as I can, because that is a ground. And then bring it over across here. So I get my piece of wire again. There you guys. Later the weekend I was putting up a lot of videos there about DXing and whatnot. I know a lot of you guys don't want to watch those videos, but I upload them just to keep track of who I'm talking to, you know? Because it's nice to have a little video log to go along with the actual contact, if you know what I mean. Alright, so I'm going to tune up the trace, temp to anyway. Nice bit of solder there. Alright. Now, get a piece of wire. So I'm going to go across there now. Follow the natural curve of the trace as much as I can. Then bring in that copper. I want to turn it like that. Alright, get the flathead screwdriver. I want this wire to get, I want to hold it, but push it in, if you know what I mean. I want to get it into these parts, into these components. strengthen it, you know what I mean? Okay. Looks okay. Again, snip it off the wire. Reflow it. This is the first time I've ever seen a Galaxy Saturn like up close and personal like this. So some solder joints in this thing is not great. I don't know what to use, what kind of solder to use to try to fix this thing. Just random wire. Wicket. Alright. I think that looks alright. Don't look too hideous, I don't think, eh? Alright. Yeah, let's choose some continuity tests here now and see. So I'm going to go from this red wire right here. And I'm going to bring it to here. We're good. Bring it to here. We're good. And I'm going to bring it back to the board, further back on the trace just to see. And then right up to the end of the trace. So we're good. Now I'll check the grounds. Check the ground. There. To there. All the way along. So our ground is good. Now let's make sure we don't get a short. There's a capacitor on that line, as you can tell. The capacitor charging. Chassis ground. Alright. Let's check the ground lugs now. Okay, so we got two ground lugs. Ground connections, chassis ground. We've got one right here. And we've got one right there. That one is just swinging in the breeze. And that one might be connected. But that one there is definitely swinging in the breeze there. Let's do a continuity test from chassis to there. As you can see, nothing. So from here, okay, so we're good there. Let's check a couple more spots while I'm in here. Now, main chassis ground is grounded. A direct ground to chassis. Now, I don't know if that's normal for this or not. I know normally the chassis ground is separated from the circuit board ground. It's kind of weird. Well, it would be that's bizarre. Very bizarre. Yeah, I guess we'll be looking into that. Let's look at the schematic and see for sure. And let's bring up the solder here. Alright. This over here don't look that great, but I'm going to touch it up anyway. See, I'm in here just as well. Alright. Alright. Let's see, we got continuity there now. Alright, we have continuity. Alright. Moving on. Okay, boys, this little board that was mounted on the side of her seems to have had a little bit of meltdown going on over here. But looking at the regulator soldering here, and it looks like the solder pads traces are damaged going to that. Let me see if I can't show you here. I'm just moving the transistor on the other side of the board. See that moving? See that? So I'm going to fix that. And I'm going to take the regulator out of the board, and then we're going to see what's going on over here. The capacitor is pretty dark looking from a lot of heat. Now the heat might have been just because of the regulator too, so we'll have a wee peek. Let's see what we find down there. Okay, so I got the regulator out. You can see that dark and right there. That's heat damage. Side capacitors, the plastic in this capacitor is discolored, and so is this one over here. So I'm going to swap out both of those. There's a couple diodes down here. I'm going to check these, see if they're shorted or not. But I'm not going to know that until I replace these two and see what we're up to then. What in the world happened to this poor thing? Okay, that's the two capacitors, the 220 10 volt. I'm going to replace it with two brand new 220 UF microfarad, whatever the hell you want to call them, and 16 volt. More than enough. So I'm going to replace two of those now. Two new ones.